Aegis Combat Assist activated. Systems green.
Greetings, citizens of the verse. This is Tier 6 here with another episode of an Avionics Technician's Guide. My professional experience between the MV-22 Osprey and now the 737 at the Boeing Company has made me enjoy analyzing ships within the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a bird of prey, the Dorito chip, a silent killer, the Eclipse, made by none other than our very own Aegis Dynamics. The first thing that comes to mind is the unique shape and design of the ship. The Eclipse is a mix between modern and older stealth technology, molded into a simple yet tactical design. It is as if it was the offspring of the B-2 and F-117 Nighthawk. For all of you who do not know, the B-2 is a long-range stealth bomber with the design of a flying wing, nice and smooth and sleek to assist with reducing radar cross-section. And then we have the F-117 Nighthawk, which is a mid-range stealth bomber with less ordnance. But what gave the stealth for the F-117 Nighthawk was the faceted two-dimensional design. It was all based on the concept that visibility on radar was not purely based on the size of an object. It also was on the angle that radar reflected off the edges of the aircraft. This served the aircraft by reflecting radar in any direction rather than back to the source it came from. So combining all of this between the two aircraft made this a perfect fit for a ship of its size and its particular payload. Let's get down to the surface and take a closer look at this ship. As we start our walk around the ship, we are welcomed with what seems to be engine intakes on either side of the ship. I find this rather interesting because quantum jump-wise, it has the range of a medium ship, but standard flight fuel is very poor, so it can use all the refuel generation it can get. Making our way to the right, my left side of the ship, we are seeing the wing folded up at a 90-degree angle in landing mode. I like the concept of this because it reminds me of a carrier-based fighter like the F-18. What I do not like about it is the primary weak spots of the ship. It doesn't take much to rip a wing off, and if you're in atmosphere, you're going to have a very hard time getting into orbit if you are hit in such a spot. Making our way downtown, walking fast to the end of the ship, we also see a large opening in the top of the structure of the wing. I personally do not like the idea of large openings on a plane that has a wing-like structure in nature. Maybe it was intended for reducing cross-section and the mass of the ship overall. To the rear, we have our engines. I love the concept of having the slot-like openings that keeps a low IR profile of the ship, but I wish they had spaced out the engines instead of keeping them crammed next to one another. If someone manages to hit your engine compartment, you lose both their engines in one go. But again, it's a stealth ship. How you want to use it is up to you, but overall it was intended to be used against bigger targets, ground or ship vehicle-wise. The Eclipse has a very simplistic weapons package. It can carry 2 fixed size 2 weapons of your choosing, but comes with 2 Scorpion GT 215s upon retrieving a default loadout, and 3 Argo 9s cross-section seeker torpedoes. However, there are 2 other types of torpedoes that can be used in conjunction or separately. The other available options is the Seeker 9 and the Typhoon 9, the electromagnetic Seeker head and the infrared Seeker head variant. The overall DPS is 36,072 plus or minus 180 DPS between the variants, and the maximum lock range being about 36 kilometers plus or minus 10 meters. Now, let's make our way to the flight deck. Alright, let me get myself situated. Okay, now on the flight deck we are presented with all the flight displays. I usually reorder them and such before I take off. One thing I like that stands out is the ejection seat, at least giving you one last ditch effort. I love the overall design, with the exception of the controls and switches that are right above you. They are mirrored from one another. Even in the aircraft like the V-22, the switches and buttons above the pilots are not mirrored. So why would a single-seater ship have the need to have mirrored switches? Now that we've done our complete walk around and we have looked at all our flight controls and flight displays, I believe we should take this thing for a spin. I'll see you in the air. Great to see you guys again. Flight-wise, the ship is slow. Very slow actually. It has a very slow acceleration rate in order to keep your EM and IR signatures low. Constantly adding boost to get you up to maximum speed of 980 meters a second not only rapidly drains your hydrogen fuel, but makes you detectable. For me personally, I fly this thing very tactically. On a typical day when I'm seeking targets, at least in atmosphere, I will get down to 15 kilometers at ground level and fly straight and level. Then I suppress my overall IR signature and wait till my radar picks up a larger target. I lock and launch while still keeping my altitude and maintaining maximum speed. The key is to not stop moving. You fire 2 missiles or 3 if you can, and then gracefully pitch up and burn back into space. Again, since you are a slow ship with poor acceleration, most small fighters can intercept you if you are not careful. Doing this tactic actually saved me when smaller fighters caught up to me when I left atmosphere. I was able to align and jump before they could take down my shields. Please remember though, the bigger the ship, the greater the signature, the farther away you can lock and fire on them, and the faster you can lock onto a target. The same thing is flip-flopped if you're shooting at a smaller ship. Again, size 9 torpedoes are not designed for a smaller ship, but if that is your tactics, then do as you please within the verse. In my opinion, the Eclipse is just one of those ships that makes you think tactically instead of just thinking with your guns. My key takeaways is that as a 3.4, missiles in general do not work properly. Making ships that rely on missiles have no purpose unless you are an arena commander. And second is ship scanners. The scanner, or ping, can detect any ship from over 30 kilometers. Yes, they can't see you, but they still know that something is there, thus making you detectable because they're going to fly towards you. Even when you're behind a mountain, you still can be detected. I understand that there will be scan improvements in the future, and I honestly hope it adjusts so that ships with low profiles like the Eclipse are harder to scan down. In space, my tactics are just a little bit different. Again, I still go for larger ships only, but instead of me keeping a fixed speed, I'm able to slow down, stay within 10 kilometers or more, fire off my missiles, and leave, regardless if they hit or not. Because again, if I'm spotted, I'm basically close to nothing. Overall, I understand that you guys have your own tactics, and I would love to hear them in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with others, and please tell me what ship you would like to see me do next. I also thank you for taking the time of your day to watch my content. It means a lot. If you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe because I'll be doing this once a week. But with that being said, I will see you on the flip side.